G'day everybody, I'm going to be doing a little video to show what to look for when your car is making lots of weird noises under boost and what possible issues it could be. Now there's usually 3 or 4 main issues it can be. The problem I'm having is when I put my foot on the accelerator, I'll hear like a balloon-like sound under load, but then once the temperature of the engine starts going up to working temperatures, the sound goes away. Now that can be a couple of different issues. It can be your EGR valve fitting here has come loose, or maybe the gasket's failed and there's a bit of an air leak, and then when the heat rises it expands and then seals itself. It can be your turbo manifold down in there. What happens with these is, because the turbo is right next to the engine, another really dumb design, with the heat of the constant expansion and then retraction when it cools, the nuts on them actually get loose, so you need to make sure you keep an eye on them, because what happens is when they get loose, if you want to early you can just tighten it up, everything's all good. But if you don't get to it first, what happens is, because it's loose, it twists with the vibration and then eventually you get a cracked manifold. They're $900 just for the manifold. Recommend to keep an eye on them. Every now and then just take off the shroud and then, you know, just have a look underneath, make sure that it hasn't done that. Mine's pretty good, so I've checked all that. The other issue is one of your pulleys. The bearings on it are going, and then when it heats up it expands and then seals better and works a little bit better. That has been fixed, unfortunately for my case. I took it to a mechanic for diagnostics of this exact issue. I'm regretting doing that because they thought it was either that or that. They said it was that. A lot of money later on, which I'm not going to go into because it was a really bad service, but it's fixed. But that wasn't the issue. It was going, so to give them credit, they did fix something that actually was starting to fail, but it was really early onset, so that actually wasn't causing the issues. Next alternative, and this is the one thing that I would go to first, your intercooler piping. Follow along and check all your seals, make sure there's no cracks, make sure it's all nice and tight. And I should have done this before taking it to a mechanic, because it's all nice and clean, bit dusty, but that's all good. But if we go down in here in the intercooler, I don't know if you can see it, but if you have a look down in there, if it'll focus, see all that? That is the one downside with D40s, is the blow-by. The blow-by, even with a catch can, is still crazy. But that's also a good indicator to say that I have a boost leak. So that was the issue. It's leaking. So all I need to do is clean it with soapy water. You can use degreaser, but you got to clean it immediately after. But I'm going to use soapy water. Put it back together. Like, just squeeze them in together. Tighten them up. Done. Problem fixed. So I just spent $780. And it would have all taken me a couple of minutes to just fix that one issue there. Okay, so the first process I'm going to do is I'm going to have to take this off. Then I'm going to have to disconnect my driving lights. At the back here, they just unplug. I'm going to have to cut the zip ties that I've done for my aerial. I'm not going to take my aerial off. All I need to do is just move this out a little bit, just to give me a little bit more room in the hands. To take the front grille out, there's a few different clips. You got these little, you see it there? You got these little twist clips. They're simple. You just get a little pair of pliers and you just turn them one angle, and then it just pops out. Same with that down the bottom. So you got one here. You've got one down in there. You've got another one there, and then another one down in here. And you've got these ones here. I need to replace that. You've got that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And then down in here, then you've also got these clips down here, and they're just push-ins. So you just push them and then pull the whole thing out. It's pretty straightforward. A lot easier than taking the lights out. If you have a bull bar and you have to take the lights out, you have to take the bull bar off. It's kind of a cunt. So yeah, I'm not going to do that for any reason anytime soon. So yeah, so again, clip here, little twist doohickey thing there, and then on each 4 areas, and then she would just pop out. It's pretty easy, don't be rough with it, they are easy to break. But yeah, that's pretty much all you really have to do. It's pretty straightforward. So yeah, so to do these top clips, you can use this Philly head screwdriver. I've got these trim removing tools. Just pop that up, get under there, and just lift like that. Nice and easy. Yeah, that's all you do. Just inspect them, make sure they're not damaged. Basically, when you push down that, it separates the little lugs down there, holds it in there nice and tight. Alright, so to do these clips, all you do is, see if I can fucking do it. It's really hard to do this with the camera without seeing what I'm doing, but essentially you just twist and then you pull it out. That's all you do. It's not that hard. Oh, I can't do it with showing you, but yeah. Alright, so I've got this off. This is about as far as I want. Took my driving lights off, all that sort of stuff. So if we have a look here, see all that muck coming out? That is all the blow-by that's coming out, which means there's definitely a leak there. So I look around here, I don't see anything but dirt, you know, just normal dust. And down in there, sort of see it, it's hard to fucking see over the camera, but down in there is the other cold air intake, and there's no muck down there. So all I need to do with these is just tighten them, or just check. Yeah, I'll just check them, make sure they're tight, but not too tight, because otherwise it can grab into them and cause other sorts of issues, especially with worm clamps, because they can grab and bite into the silicone, which can actually ruin them. So you've got to be careful of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all that with soapy water. Soapy water is really good. You can use degrease like brake cleaner, but you have to get the brake cleaner off, otherwise it will fuck your silicone joiner. But I'm just going to use soapy water, so then that way I can also use the detergent in it to show bubbles if there's a continual leak after I fix this. So it's a good little method to do that. All the electronics are wrapped up near it, but all the important bits are up here, so they should be fine. So I'm going to go in, clean it first, and then I will basically, this bit here, I'm going to move up to that stop there, and then I'm going to maneuver that pipe a little bit, so then that way it's got full connection between the 2 pipes, the pipe from the intercooler and the hard pipe over there. So and then that should be fixed. I think the problem was, because this is plastic, I was too cautious and I didn't actually tie it up enough, and then with the blow-by and the oil getting on there, it just sort of slipped loose, and then now there's an air leak. So it's best to use a small ratchet when tightening these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one and that adapter, then that way you've got more control over it and you can feel when it's tight. Say if I use that big one there, you won't feel it at the level you actually need it to be tight enough. You actually go over that and you will start going into the area of over tightening and damaging your silicone. So we're going to do it that way. I mean, you can use that, you just got to be gentle, that's all. Alright, so I've given her a clean, I've tightened her up, so she's on there nice and tight and all joined up. You can see the bulge where the rolling bit is. I keep forgetting what the bloody name is, but the lip type thing. So that's nice. I've tightened these up just a smidge, not crazy amount, but just a smidge. And same down there, I've tightened them up a little bit, not crazy tight, just with that little tiny wrench, finger tight, like with my fingers. That'll be more than enough, I think. So now what I'm going to do is start the car, put some soapy water under there and get someone to put their foot down and just watch to see if any bubbles come out, see if there's any air leaks, and then if it's all good, then we're done. That's it. It only took a few minutes, didn't take fuck all time. It's a bit more time cleaning the engine bay and cleaning the power steering hose there and cleaning other bits and pieces. I didn't bother cleaning the motor, just dust, not an issue, it's not rusting anything or anything like that. So she's all spick and spam. I'll leave the bonnet open just to dry out the water, but I'll do this next. Alright, so we tested it with some soapy water to see if there's any bubbles. There was none, so it's all good. Now I'm just putting the trim back on, and the trick is with the trim, these little doohickey things are a real pain in the ass. They're supposed to come through the hole and then sort of plop out. You can do that by just sort of getting at the back, squeezing the back of the thing and just sort of pushing them through and then twisting them, and then they lock in. I'm going to spend a while fiddling around with them because for some reason they're a bit jammed. While I had the car running, I did notice that I also found that I have another issue with the alternator clutch pulleys going. It will make like a rattling noise when that starts to go. That clanking noise, that's the alternator clutch pulley. So another thing to add to the bill, yay. You can just pull out the clutch pulley and replace it, and that sort of fixes it. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing that, but I need to get onto it as soon as possible before the pulley fails completely, seizes and throws the pulley into my engine bay and make a fucking massive mess. So I need to make sure I get onto that ASAP. But anyway, I hope that helps the next person who has this exact issue. Alright, thank you, bye.